What's good, everybody? So, talking about the religious left today. And no, that's not me being hyperbolic or anything like that. It's just that I literally mean that. Why? Well, take a look at this.
Summoned to vote.
Summoned to vote.
Let's go watch the vote.
Let's go watch the vote.
In offices that you wish to communicate with.
In offices you wish to communicate with.
I am going to go to Heidi Heitkamp's office.
I'm going to go to Heidi Heitkamp's office.
Why? She's on our side.
And after the vote,
Crazy, right? Of course it is. Any normal person would think that shit is crazy. And here's the big issue that I have with it. Because this isn't some type of bash the left channel. It's just that the left is really fucking up right now. The right's fucking up too, but the left is fucking up way more. When you got these so-called Republican rhinos or whatever looking like the reasonable people on the news talking about due process and innocent until proven guilty, like with the whole Judge Kavanaugh thing. And you got the left like literally in circles chanting, like needing somebody to fucking stand up like a preacher and chant, like not even their slogans or anything, but what they're going to do. So everybody is like coordinated, like fucking groupthink, like fucking what's his name? Simon Pegg and Hot Fuzz. The greater good. Y'all remember that? That's what this shit is. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up is because you have a lot of reasonable people on the left, like Kyle Kalinske or Dave Rubin or even Christina Hoff Sommers a little bit, like they're more center left. Maybe Christina's like center right, but Rubin and Kalinske, well, Kalinski's a little bit more than center, but they're reasonable. And they're reasonable because they aren't crazy. They can actually recognize, like, yeah, we need due process and we need all these other type of things. Even though Kyle is I mean, you could tell that like he's more concerned with like the policies that he disagrees with, that now Justice Kavanaugh is believes in. But I mean, where were you at, man? Where were you at saying like you keep like I agree with his videos where he's like, oh well, the right keeps saying that they're for free speech, but they never speak up when the left gets censored, and he's right to the most part. But and he's like, I'm the only one who always speaks up for both sides, for freedom of speech and the rule of law and things like that. Well, he was nowhere to be found during this whole witch hunt for Kavanaugh. Like he was saying that the allegations were probably true. when there was no evidence. I mean, like zero evidence. But besides that, like what I was getting at is that guys like Kyle or people who do shows like him, like what's his name, David Pacman and Jimmy Dore, they're always saying that oh, we really need to worry about the policies. The Republicans are the ones that are in control of the government now, so we need to worry about the policies, because all this little college kid stuff that's going on, that's not really that big of a deal. It's just a bunch of goofballs in college and they're not really going to affect anything. Well, yeah, I knew that line of reasoning was bullshit for years. Years and years and years, I knew that was bullshit because how do you influence a population? You get at its youth because the youth is the future of the population. The future of society, the future of the lawmakers, the future of pretty much everything, entertainment, everything. And what's mostly left wing? Media, entertainment media, right? And the education system. I mean, I was in it too. It's nowhere near as crazy as it is now. Back then, it was nowhere near this fucking crazy because I grew up in the 90s, born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. Now, don't get me wrong, growing up in the 90s, it was just like, you didn't even have to think about it. It's like, yeah, Democrats are the good guys. If you in like urban, they call them urban communities, inner cities, what they call them now, whatever, black communities. You in black communities listening to radio stations in Florida, like 103.5, 99 Jams. Of course, when I was a kid, I don't think 103.5 existed yet, but 99 Jams, Power 96. you're on the radio. Oh man, we already had our first black president, Bill Clinton. If I was up in the White House, I'd be getting one of my secretaries to do that too. They were joking or whatever, but yeah, like that was like the consensus that just it's kind of like an invisible blanket that just falls over the society's mind. Like this is the way things are, and this is the way things should be going, and everything's fine. Let's just go about our business and not worry about what the people in charge are doing because they got us. You know, the Democrats are the good guys. They got us. Whew. Look, yeah, look how that turned out. I mean, for real, look how that turned out. But anyways, the videos that I just showed where they're chanting like crazy cultists, those are kids. Those are kids being directed by adults, just like in colleges. You saw it at Mizzou, the college in Missouri. You saw it at Berkeley. You see it at so many all these colleges where you see all these protests. And the defense for that is like, oh, it's just Antifa. They're not really Democrats. They hate both left and right. Yeah, they do. But a lot of them, and a lot of these situations that have happened weren't Antifa. They were just college students with being directed by their administrators or their professors. Like you take a look at all these big things that happen on college, like with the lady where she's like, we need to get some muscle over here. She was the one directing that shit, and she was a part of the administration. The thing where the guy got hit in the head with the bike lock, which could have killed him, that was a professor that did that. A left-wing one. Deep left wing. And it's not just the United States. You got like what happened with Jordan Peterson. You got people that went on the news after that being like, oh, well, actually, you know, biological sex does not exist. So the point I'm getting at is that everybody that tries to downplay when people bring up these crazy college students and crazy college professors trying to downplay it, trying to be like, yeah, they don't really affect society. They almost just affected society in a really big way, and they have been affecting society in a really big way. Because who the fuck do you think are the ones that's doing all this crazy shit and all these crazy protests in the government right now? They were college kids. They got indoctrinated by shit like gender studies and all these social sciences programs or whatever the fuck that's in these colleges right now. They all got indoctrinated by these professors. And then they went out into the world. They became lawyers. They didn't all just become useless social workers, you know. Some of them, they became lawyers. They became, some of them are in the tech industry, like the shit that happened in Google with James Damore. Some of them got in the government. And you're seeing the effects of that today. And all these kids that you've seen in the Senate building where they were protesting Judge or Justice Kavanaugh, not all of them are going to be doing nothing. They're going to be going into powerful positions. If it's not the government, it's going to be the media. Either the entertainment media, where they can try and propagate their bullshit through, you know, entertainment media, TV shows and movies, or they're going to go into the news media and be jackasses like fucking Cuomo and Don Lemon and all these other idiots in the media. What's his name? Brian Stelter? All these dumbasses. I mean, who do you think they were 25 years ago? They were these kids that you see right now chanting. All these fucking idiots. So that's pretty much the majority of what I wanted to say on that. I know short video, but hey, not every single one is going to be a giant rant, unless that's what y'all like, and then I can rant for a while, but I try and like get my point out as clear and as precise and quick as possible. But it's just like a religion. And I'm not hating on religious people, because I actually grew up in the church. My dad, preacher, you know, my mom took me to church all the time. But if you're in a church and, you know, like the spirit has come over you and everything like that, you know, and you see everybody, you know, swaying back, their hands up, you know, hallelujah, praise Jesus, all this type of stuff, that comes from a place of faith and love for their faith, love from the people around them. They really want and need something to believe in, and they really do believe in it, and things of that nature. But it's like a belief in a supernatural force, you know, like in a better existence after this existence, things of that nature, real philosophical, theological type stuff. This is politics. That's what these kids has been is being being used in, being exploited in, basically. Like you take a look at things like Scientology, like all the Hollywood actresses and actors that got out of Scientology, and now they're saying like, yeah, it's a cult, and we if you don't follow that cult to the letter, even if you're completely devoted, but you just have any type of disagreement, they will crucify you. And that's exactly what happens with these left-wing people in the media and entertainment and politics. Look at the Me Too thing. Look at what happened to, what's her name, Asia Argento and Lena Dunham, Rose McGowan. They're all these fucking hypocrites and all these type of shit. Like you take one little step away from the ideology and then you get crucified too. So, especially with all these damn left-wing dudes, like you just had Matt Damon do his thing on SNL about Judge Kavanaugh. And don't get me wrong, I chuckled a little bit. Matt Damon's funny. He's a extremely talented actor. He knows how to, you know, act and be a comedic actor, a serious actor, or whatever. He's real good at his work. But he just before that, you know, he was getting crucified by these Me Too people too, just like Henry Cavill, just for making a statement. Even before Me Too, when you had Chris Evans and Jeremy Renner, the two dudes from the Avengers, talking about Black Widow, and they made some comments like how Black Widow is basically sleeping with every male Avenger member. And then who got pissed off? All these left-wing feminists who were just like, the reason I keep bringing up all these things is because everybody that's left-wing, that's doing all this hysteria and crazy crucifixion type stuff, started off just like you see these kids in this damn Senate building chanting like a cult. And you even had one go like, well, why are we going to Heidi Heitkamp's office? She's on our side. And then you had the older guy, the adult there, look at her for a second, turn. He like, the way he looked at it, he was just like shocked. I'm like, oh my God, she's breaking with the cult. And then he like turned his head back. It was like a snap motion, like he was scared. Like maybe I should start reading some body language, get into that, you know? Nah, but like he turned back and he just kept his hand up, he kept his fist up, and he kept the chant going because he didn't want to lose anybody else from that. And I'm pretty sure he gave that woman that girl a stern talking to after that little chant was done. I bet you he did. So the thing that I'm trying to say is that left-wing politics and left-wing ideology is becoming more and more like a very dangerous religion. Okay? Very dangerous. And that's the reason why people are always speaking out about it. All these reasonable left-wing people who are just like, why you keep focusing on all these college kids? They can't affect nothing. Yes, they can. You're wrong. They can, and they are. And it seems that it doesn't matter how much visual proof is put in front of your face. You just don't want your team to take the hit from breaking with these fanatics. You think you're breaking with the fanatics with things like Justice Democrats, but no, because look at what happened to the two founders of the damn movement. They got axed. Why? Because of some things that one of the founders, Cenk Uygur, had said years and years ago in a blog post or a news article post or whatever. And they axed him for that because it goes against their ideology of women over everything. You can't say anything bad about women. You can't say anything like a normal dude would say about women, like, yo, I love those huge tits. Like, you say some shit like that, crucified. And Kyle Kalinske, he stepped down in protest to that decision, which is commendable, but still, it's like he can't speak bad about Justice Democrats, can't do that. If you speak bad about them, then that brings a hit to your team that you're trying to get into the political office to take over the Democratic Party. So, yeah, and don't think that it's not completely infesting Justice Democrats neither, because take a look at, what's her name, Alexandria Cortez, where Ben Shapiro had challenged her to a debate, and she's like, just like catcalling, these men feel entitled to us. And it's like, wow. You could have just said, like, I'm not running against you. I don't want to debate you. Fuck you, whatever. Now, of course, you would have looked like a hypocrite, and you still do, but you would look like less of a hypocrite than you do now, because you already said that, oh, right-wing people are afraid to debate me. And then one comes to debate you, and you're like, oh, he's catcalling me. Come on the fuck on. That's identity politics. That's fucking left-wing, radical feminist ideology. And it's fucking garbage. They keep saying that everything's toxic. If you want to talk about stuff that's toxic, left-wing ideological feminism is fucking toxic. Left-wing ideological feminism don't care about due process. It don't care about innocent until proven guilty. And you just seen that firsthand with this Judge Kavanaugh thing. Now, I don't give a damn whether you truly think that Christine Ford's testimony was credible or not. That doesn't matter. There was still no corroborating evidence, so it's still her word against his. And we can't destroy somebody's career or somebody's life or convict somebody on just that he said, she said, even though that's happened before. Like I brought up Brian Banks in one of my previous videos. So yeah, no credible evidence, but you still want to go in on somebody with no credible evidence. That's feminism. That's feminism today. And that comes from adults like the ones you saw directing those groups of kids with that chant, getting into colleges and indoctrinating them into all of this crazy bullshit. That's just a fact. That's not opinion, that's a fact, as Kyle Kalinske would say. So as the regular like left-wing Democrats, they're not going to do anything because they're opportunists. Like Kirsten Gillibrand and Mazzierono and all these people, they don't actually give a fuck about women or any of this type of shit. They're just opportunists. They see where the wind blows. They're like, we're the party of women's issues, so we got to do this. We got to be like, yeah, women, rah, 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 and fuck men and all this other type of shit regardless until the wind changes, just like Hillary Clinton did with gay marriage. When the wind changes, then they'll change. So you Justice Democrats, you guys are trying to like change the party from within, take it over, blah, blah, blah. Disconnect yourself from this fucking radical feminist ideology, radical socialist ideology, or you're gonna fucking fall on your face. You're gonna fall on your face. Because you seeing what's happening. Like, the shit that y'all doing is not just pissing off right-wingers. It's pissing off people in the center, and it's pissing off some people on the left, too. They're like, hold on. We're not trying to bring the country back to the damn Inquisition. We're not trying to bring it back to the damn Salem witch trials here. We're just trying to get the policies that we think is going to help working people in. So y'all need to be like, we're just trying to get these policies in. Let's forget about all this radical ideology type stuff. If y'all do that, I think y'all would soar politically. Like, you still wouldn't convince like a Ben Shapiro or a Steven Crowder, but like independent in the center type people, you would get way more of them if you would drop this fucking radical ideology type shit. Feminism is your, it's like your fucking malignant mole that you got on the side of your cheek right here. So you might have like an extremely handsome face like mine's, but this mole right here is the one thing that's just fucking it all up. And you keep trying to give speeches, but the camera just keeps zooming in on that mole, and everybody's like, ugh, 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 and you know your message doesn't really get through. That's what feminism is in your up and coming movement right now. He'd cut that shit off. But that's all I got for right now. Talk to y'all later. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps me out. But I ain't gonna beg for it. Y'all like it, y'all go ahead and like and subscribe, comment. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and see y'all next time. Peace.